Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Ajit Kumar, and in this video we will be talking about the Terraform. We will write a script from the scratch and will provision the resources with the help of VS Code. We will write the script there. We will use that Terraform registry and the providers Azure RM, and we will do the deployment of the virtual machine as a example, and we will see how it will be work, and we will learn more about that the latest version, which is basically 4.0. So we will go with that lab and we can start the tool which I use here, the VS Code, and we will provision the resources in the Azure environment, Azure public cloud, and all the configuration I have already did earlier. And if you want to see how we can do the configuration, you can check out my previous video. I will provide in the link box, or you can check here in the I section. You can find here there, and you can do the configuration in your system, and you can proceed further for the deployment. We'll proceed further. So as you can see here, I do have the VS Code. I will open that one, and first of all I will show you the extension, whatever the extension I am using currently. So these are the extension I have installed here. As you can see here, let me maximize this one. So these are the extension I am currently using. You need to have this Azure account, okay, and these are the basic extension I have installed in my system. This is the required version, and this will also. So you can enable the extension from here in the section. I will go ahead and create a folder. Okay, so I will go to the my desktop, and will create a simple folder calling name as a Terraform. I am going from the scratch only. I didn't written any code anywhere, so that you can have the better understanding. Okay, so this is the folder I have just created. Inside that I will create a file called main.tf. Okay, or either you can mention here the config.tf. Here first of all I click here the control and space mark, and you can see here the block. So there is lots of multiple block is available here. I will select the resource first of all, and the resource sorry, I will select the Terraform first, and here I will use the required provider, and the provider name will be Azure RM, and that equal to, and here I will be use the version. The version I will be use that 64.0. It will be used that more than upgrade version of 2.664.0. And here I will use the source. Source is, as you can see here, it is mandatory, it is required, so I will use that one. And basically for this source, basically I will go to the Google, and you can search for the terraform.io. so if you go to the module, or you can go to the Terraform Azure, and here is the docs, and you can find here the all those providers. So as you can see, the provider name is there, and the source is basically this is the registry terraform.io, and including this Hashicrop and this one. So by default basically we are using the Hashicrop only, so I will use that one, Hashicrop.azure. Okay, that's it. Okay, and after that I will go ahead and here, and use here the provider. So here I will give the closing flower bracket, and I will go and go search for the provider and putting here the provider name azurerm, and here I will use the features and closing this flower bracket. Okay, so this one. So if you want to means have means you can provision the resources using the exit login. Okay, if you don't want to authenticate, you can provide here the configuration. I do have the configuration. Let me go to that file and will check that one, and I will copy that file. So I will go to this my file configuration.tf file, and I will copy this my secrets and the provided information, so that it will not require to be have authentication. Okay, I will close this one. Okay, so this is my config.tf is prepared. Now I will go, this is my as you can means this is the configuration file, this is the provider details we have mentioned here. Now I will go and first create to rg.tf. So this will be my resource group.tf. So here I will go and choose the resource. Here in the resource azurerm underscore, and this is the good thing you can see here. If you can enable the extension, you will be get details, means this provider and name automatically populated. So this is the good thing. So here I will click here the azure rm, and I'm going to deploy, means create a resource group. I will use that one, and here I will use that my rc, and here. So if you don't know about what next to write, you will get this error, this red line. You just scroll your cursor here, and you can see here the view problem. Once you click on that, you will get that one, the location is required and whatever the things you can mention here. So this is the name which is required, so I will use that one, name as my rc or 1-1. Okay, and the location I will use, because it is mandatory, so I will use the htus2. Okay, and if you want to do any tagging for this one, so for that tagging it should be have this string. So I will close this one, and here is the key string, so I will use here the environment environment and environment should be the div. Okay, and this is the file now. So the my second df file is got created, it is now available. So I will go to the next one. Meanwhile I will go to the terminal and do the validation, if so far if we found any issue or not. So as you can see here, there is no any file other than that config.tf and rg.tf. I will first of all I will redirect this the console. So this is my console already mentioned here. So these are the file you can see. Now I will run first command, very first command, terraform init. It will be basically download all the provider plugin and will collect here. You can see now it is using 4.2.0. so we mentioned to find 2.6.64.0, and now it is using the latest one. If you want to check the Terraform the latest version, so has here is the latest version, and it is published 2 days ago only. So we are good now. So as you can see that initialization got completed, and here if I go to the path, you can see here that this file is got created and along with that log file. So if we want to go to the Terraform folder, and you can see here the provider, and if you go to the provider, this is the registry.o. So this is the path we are normally mentioning in here in this configuration here. Okay, so I will go back to the my project. Let me clear the screen, and let me scroll down that. So this is the file. So let me do the Terraform validate. Okay, so to do the validation whether our configuration on all the syntaxes are looks good or not. So as you can see here, the configuration looks good. Now what we can do, we can create a, we can use this one and we'll create a resource group. So let me go to back to my the portal, Azure portal, and we'll see you is there any resource group is available or not. So if I go to my resource group, you can see here there is no resource group is available. Now I will go here and create run the Azure plan first. Okay, so that whatever the resources is going to provision, we can see from here itself. So here you can see this resource group will be created. Okay, and you can see here one to add. Okay, let me clear the screen, and I will go and Terraform apply. Okay, and if you means basically it's will be ask you to approve, or you can mention the yes or no to approve this one. If you don't want to do the manual approve, here we can write auto approve. Okay, so as you can see here, it don't ask me to approve. It will basically start the creating of my resource group. So it got created. As you can see here, one resource got applied, and I will go back to my resource group and check. Yeah, this resource group just got created, and the tag is also got. Here is the environment. Yeah, environment and the tag. So this is how I have created. So as you can see here, the environment tab. So this is how I have created the resource group. Let me create another file, and I will proceed further to deploy the VM in this video. Moving next to create a network here. So for that, I will go to the my folder again, and will create a here the new file, and I will use here the network.tf. Okay, extension should be the .tf only, because this is a Terraform file. We need to have this one. I will close this terminal now at this moment, and here I will go to the resource and type here the azurerm and underscore virtual network. uh, Before proceeding to that, I will first remove this one, and we should first confirm that what are the resources, what are the services is required to establish a network. Okay, so to do that, I have written somewhere on here what are the resources will require to create. Okay, so first of all we'll create a resource virtual network. So for that one I will go here and create a virtual network first, azure rm and underscore virtual network, virtual network. So and I use here minet. Okay, and here this is the required string. This is a required thing we need to have. So I will use this one, minet one, and the location is mandatory. So I will use here the same location, east US. And if you don't remember what need to be provision here, I will simply go to this radar and see here the few problems. So as you can see here, address spaces is not as specified, so I will use that one, address spaces. And here the string value I will use here the 10.0.0.0 backslash 16. Okay, and if I close this one again I'm getting the error, so I will click here the this one. So it is showing that the resource group is required. So I will here to type here the resource group name, and I will, instead of mentioning the group name Azure resource group name, I will go here to the Azure RM resource group. If you go here, this is my Azure RM resource group. Okay, and this is my dot my rc, so it will use that my rc. I will use the name. Okay, dot name, so that it will use that my resource group name automatically. Okay, so okay, maybe we need to have provide here the things. It looks good now. So our virtual network section is fine now. I will go ahead to the creating a subnet here. So for that I will type here in the keyboard control space and go to the resource, and here I will type the azure rm underscore and the subnet, and here I will type here the my subnet. Okay, and the name is mandatory, so I will use here the my subnet one. Okay, and the location is location may not be mandatory. I will go here the problems, and you can see here the virtual network and the resource group. First I will go to the resource group name, and I will use the same one, azure rm and the resource group and dot the name. Okay, now I will go I will say again the what is the required the virtual network name, and I will click here the virtual network name, and instead of writing the name I will go to the azure rm virtual network and the name. Okay, it will be used this one, and will provide here the name. What is pending now, the virtual network and the address prefixes. So I will use here the address prefixes, and here 10.0.2.0 backslash 24, and I will keep in this way. So my subnet section is also completed. Now I will go ahead to create a public IP. Okay, so to create a public IP, first I will go to the control and the space tab, and I will go to the resource here. Here I type the azure rm underscore and the public IP. Okay, this public IP will be used for to connect my VM. Okay, and here I will use the public IP name. Okay, and the name will be the public IP -1. We should keep in this such way. And let me see here the location. It is mandatory. So for the location, I will use the resource group location only. So this is my resource group .rg, and here I will use the mention the location, so that it will be use my resource group location only. Or either we can use the virtual network resource group, it will also work. So what is pending, let me show here. Required resource group. Okay, so I will choose here the resource group, and the resource group I will use this one and dot name. Okay, and what is pending, this allocation method. So in the allocation method I will use allocation method, and it will be like a static or the public, sorry, the dynamic. So I will use the static method. Okay, so far our public IP is section is also completed. So far we didn't got any error. Now I will go to create a network interface which will be connect to our virtual machine. So I will simply type here the control and spacebar, and will go to this block resource, and here I will type here the azurerm, and after that I will type here, sorry, in the rm itself I will use this one, that network underscore interface. Okay, and I will use here the mining. Okay, and what will be the name will be the mandatory. So mining -1, I will use that one, and go to this section, and first it required a resource group. I will use this one, and the resource group, sorry, I'll use this one, the name of this resource group. Okay, and what is pending now, this is the location, location. Okay, so I will use this location which is mandatory, and for the location itself I will use this resource group location only. Okay, and the another thing is IP configuration. So IP configuration is there. Okay, so if I if you have missed anything, or you are not having much information regarding that one, so we can just go to the azure rm, and we can see the documentation, and this search here the virtual network, and what is required for this one we can get automatically. So I will type here the virtual network, and see what are the resources is required. Virtual network. Okay, so far we have created this is all already we have deployed in the different thing, and this is the NSG. If you wants to create, you can create. In my case I'm not creating the NSG, we can create later. And this is the virtual network. Okay, and if you want to add the DNS, you can use that one. This is the subnet task, the subnet things. I go here is looking for this of the problems. So first of all I will click mention here the name which is required, and I will keep name as internal, sorry, at VM name. vmnick. Okay, or here I will use this vmnick only, and vmnick 1, nick 1, and here I will use that devnick, which will be connected to my VM. And this is the another problem. What is the another problem? Private space addresses, IP addresses, private IP addresses allocation. Okay, so here I will use that dynamic. Okay, and let me see if I get any error so far. And here I will require to have the subnet ID, and the subnet ID will be used from here itself. This is the subnet ID, so azurerm and subnet, and here I will use this ID. So okay, it will use this ID itself. Okay, and another thing will require the IP addresses ID, so we'll use this one itself. This is my public IP, and I'm adding here the ID. Okay, so far it looks fine. Let me save this file first. Make sure whenever you are changing any of the things in the .tf file, you should save this file properly, because it will not use that one. Instead of it will use that previous version. So I'm saved this one. Let me go to the terminal, and we'll do the validation. Okay, so I will use here the Terraform validate, and we'll see if so far we have find any error. So as you can see here, I'm getting here this IP. This is the error in this network.tf file, line number 24. So I will go there, and here okay, I will use here the so far that dynamic and see if it is having an issue or not. Okay, let me validate again. Yeah, now as you can see here, the validation looks fine. Okay, let me run again, and we'll see. So far we didn't found any issue with this network.tf. So far I have we do have the configuration.tf is created, and now the resource group is also created. Means that the file, now this is the networking. I will go ahead and create a virtual machine one. So next part is to create a VM. So here I will use this vm.tf. Okay, let me close another tab. Okay, and let me close this one terminal at this moment, and here I will go to the resource azurerm, and it is for Windows virtual machine. I will use this one. Okay, and this name is mandatory. So first I will go to the name, and I will use this. First I here change this name, my VM. Okay, and here I will use this my VM 1 or hyphen db. So my VM db, I will use this one, and the computer name I will use, this is optional, you can use or not. So this will be used as a host name of this VM. So I will use here my VM db. Okay, so let me mention here this for host name only, and this is purely optional. If you want, you can write here, either you can remove here. Okay, and now what are the error I'm getting here, and the resource group name, and the resource group name I will use here the azurerm and my resource group and the name. Okay, now the next part is to provide the interface. Okay, network interface ID, and here I will use this one and the ID. Okay, sorry, it should be like this one ID. Interface ID. This one only, because it is showing us the error, so it will be the network interface nick and the ID, and we'll close this one. Okay, so next part I will get from this error, and this is the location. Okay, and the location will be the location I will type here, and the location I will use for from this resource group location only. Okay, and another one is for the admin password and the admin user. So here I will use this first Azure admin and the admin password. So by default password I am written here, and the another one is for the OS disk. Okay, so OS disk here, first time I will write here the caching, and it will be read and write. And if you storage type, and here I will use storage type, it will be the standard LRS. I will use this one only. Okay, here we need to provide this block and source image. Okay, and here we need to provide the size. It looks like we need to provide here the size itself. Okay, size is not specified. Okay, let me provide here the size. That's why it is showing the error. So I will use standard and underscore b2s b2ms. Okay, because if you want to check the size, you can just google it from here, as your VM size. Okay, and you can go with the series, whatever the series you are looking for, so it will be show you the all the series. So I go with v2ms. Okay, I have already written here, so now you can see the error goes down. So here we are getting an error, and this is for the publisher first, and I will write here the publisher, and the publisher name will be the Microsoft Windows, Microsoft Windows Server. Okay, and after that we need to have the version. So here in the version I will use here 2022. Sorry, in the version I will use the latest one. Okay, and it will be used the latest OS images only. And here I will type here this SQ. In the SQ section I will use here the 2022 data center. Okay, and the last one, I believe the last one. Okay, the offer offer. Okay, we need to have in small letter only offer, and offer will be in this. Here I have written this one. Let me remove this one too, and here I will use here Windows Server. Okay, so far we didn't got any error. We have defined everything looks like, because we are not getting any red line. So I believe all the items, all the details we have already written here. Now I will close this one and I will go to the new terminal and close all the terminal, expand this one, and let me do the validation. So here it is mentioning here something we need to have mentioned in our vm.tf file. So here it looks like I have written here in the small caps. Let me save this one and let me validate it again and check whether it's having any error. Okay, now so far our validation also got completed. So far we have deployed the resource group. I will go to the resource group and we'll see you. This is the resource group which I already have created with that previous command, and you can see here there is no any items used there. If you want to tag this VM, let me open this one to tag as well, so that we can tag this VM as well. So I will use the tags, and the tags I will close, and here I will use the environment, and that will be the dev environment. Let me close this one and we'll do the again the validation, so that makes sure that we don't have any error. So it looks fine. So our resource script has already deployed. Now I will go from the Terraform plan command and we'll see what are the items will going to be deployed. So as you can see here, there will be the five resources will going to be deployed. This is the VM NIC network interface. This is the public IP. This is the subnet. This is the virtual network, and this is the VM. So let me clear the screen and let me show you the file. So this is my vm.tf file. I will go ahead and run the Terraform apply command with auto approve. Okay, so that we don't need to approve again and again. So as you can see, it didn't ask me to approve, and now it started provisioning the resources in my the resource group. I will go ahead and check the resource group and refresh this one. Let me complete that one. And as you can see here, I got some error. Okay, so far our virtual network got created. So let me go to the resource group. Yeah, this is the VMnet. It's got completed. We got an this error. Static allocation must be used when creating a secure public IP, and this is the related to the network.pf file. I will go to that one and the line number 20, and this one public IP, and here it is going to have the static. Let me use this static and save this file, and let me do the validation. Sorry, first clear the cache all to the Terraform validate, make sure everything looks fine, and I will do Terraform apply. So earlier it was fine 5, now it is showing 3. So we'll have to wait for a couple of minutes to provision these resources. So it is showing that public IP got created. Let me go to back to the resource group and see. Yeah, this is the one. So far our VM NIC is completed, and the public IP is also VM is now is in progress to create. So we'll have to wait for a couple of minutes to provision that resources. So now you can see here that VM got created as well. All the 3 resources got created. As a result, you can see here 3 added. Let me go back to the resource group and refresh this here. Now you can see all the resources available. I'm going here to this VM, and if you want to take RDP, you can use this public IP and you can do the RDP. Somehow looks like somehow I have missed something, like I want to do the configuration like in the sizing. Okay, so at this moment I'm using this one B2MS. Okay, and if you want to upgrade it to from B2MS to this to V2, so we can use this one in the Terraform file, and I will go to the VM, and here I will change the configuration, the sizes of this VM, and I will put it here. Okay, we'll save this one, and I will go first clear this, and I will go ahead and again apply. So it will check the our tfstate file, whatever the tfstate file is created, it will check that one, and it will be going to refresh all the things and will save. So as you can see, it checked all things, and it came to know that this will be in the place, this configuration. As you can see here, the size, it is showing that earlier it was this and now it is this. So it will be going to upgrade that size of my VM. So it started provisioning that one. It will be start modifying the size. It will be upgrade our VM using this process. So I will go to the VM first and go to this VM, and as you can at this moment, now you can see here this video is got updated automatically. So it will be not completed properly, we'll have to wait this one. Now you can see here one things got changed, and this is the one. It got updated with the size latest version. Okay, I will go ahead and will remove all the resources. So these are the resources. I will go ahead and want to remove all the resources from our environment. We don't need to these resources anymore. So we can run the Terraform destroy command, and I will put it here the auto approve so that it won't be asked me to approve, and it will show us first. It check the TF state file, it got to refresh, and as you can see here it is showing 6 to destroy. That means all the 6 resources whatever we have provision, it is going to be delete from the Azure environment. So finally our command got completed, means that destroy got completed and all the 3 resources got destroyed. Let me back to the the Azure portal and we'll check. So my RG1 at my resource group is not available, so it looks fine now. Hope this video is really helpful to you and you have understand how we can write a Terraform file and provision the resources. I have learned, and I am glad to provide you the demo how we can easily create resources with the Terraform and without any help issue. Please like and subscribe my channel, and if you do have any query you can post in my LinkedIn page or in the comment section. Thank you.